and that is an eternal message.
The term Tagore dance is vast and debatable. Tagore traveled all over the world during his lifetime and fell in love with the dances of the world. Tagore chose the graceful wave-like movements of Manipuri dance, which was like a song of movements to him. He also loved the lyrical dances of Southeast Asia, the vigorous body movements of Kathakali from Kerala, and the Kandyan dance of Sri Lanka fascinated him. The other main classical form that influenced him was Bharatanatyam from South India. The form he introduced was eclectic, therefore neither classical nor folk. We can call it Tagore dance.
রবীন্দ্র নৃত্য কথাটা শুনতেই আমার কানে খটকা লাগে। চৌযুগের নৃত্য কেউ বলছে রাবেদ নৃত্য, রবীন্দ্র নৃত্য না, রবীন্দ্র প্রবর্তিত নৃত্যশিল্প যদি বলা হয়, বাণীটা হচ্ছে আসল। সেই বাণী থেকে অনুসরণ করে তার মানানসই অঙ্গভঙ্গি আমাকে প্রয়োগ করতে হবে।
Dance is such a media where you can express so many things.
Mother, remove your veil. Let me see your face.
Your acting capability, your expression to show your different emotions.
Tagore's dance is a combination of many classical and modern type of dances. Manipuri is one. And the other classical types. So it's a combination, and he has put them together in a form which obviously did attract and still attract people.
The actions of his, the way he depicts it, that is what touches you. You can get the gist of the story through his dance movements.
Why tonight did I have to hear from Arjun's mother's throat my own mother's voice? Why did my name ring in her
Tagore's dances, I mean, you can, if your body is flexible, if it's not stiff enough, then you can pick up at any age. Like I keep on giving me as an example. I mean, I started when I was in my late teens.
There was a message behind all of Tagore's works, and there was like a moral behind it. And so with Dasha Desh, it was, you know, don't follow rules that don't really make sense. Try and understand why the rules are there, and you know, break free from the bureaucracy and doctrine.
The body movement, it is giving the language, and I think it has helped Tagore songs a lot. I feel that way. Dances, they have taken it up to another level.
Chitrangada, Chandalika and Shama are a few names out of the many dance dramas he wrote. The characteristics of these pieces are that the stories are told entirely through songs and expressed through dances. The term given to these dance dramas is Ravindra Nritya Natya. With age, Tagore was increasingly drawn towards Buddhism, and this can be traced in many of his dance dramas.
The style is concerned, there are two aspects. One is the dance style. The Tagore dance style, as I said, that it is not a particular, there is no structure in it. You can use anything. But Unconsciously, I think, although I was primarily a Manipuri dancer, my choreography was very much Manipuri at the beginning. But I also am trained in Kathak. I brought Kathak style to make it a bit more exciting, because there is a lot of footwork into it. And that was taken very well.
If you go back to when he had first traveled to England, or when he maybe made his second visit, he was himself doing ballroom dancing. And then when he went back to India, he sent his dance troupes to various parts of South Asia, and just not South Asia, also to England, to have ballet training. Had he been alive today, he would have caught on to all the creative mixtures that have come out of the dance genres.
What they do is they kind of modernize it. I mean, they blend European styles with Indian styles, and then they're very creative, both basically and to it.
I think it's very important to realize how important that particular genre of dance that Tagore actually created is.
I think a time will come where we'll be able to bring the other forms, the dances from Africa.
The dance doesn't have to remain the same steps, the same moves. And it'd be really interesting to see how a new, potentially younger dancers would actually be able to develop those moves to the music and the art now.
Maybe doing modern interpretations of his old dance dramas in a modern way, something that people probably haven't thought about doing before. You know, they've redone Swan Lake, Matthew Bourne's Swan Lake, and it's something that people could consider.
Over the years, as the styles have evolved, so have the costumes. Earlier on, dancers would usually wear a sari with a batik scarf. More recently, however, various traditional classical costumes are favoured by the dancers.
When I founded Nrityakala the Rhythm, I never wanted to be a guru, diva, or a performer. I wanted to make use of dance in a best manner, either to express an issue or to take literature. We did translation in Hindi nearly 20 years ago. So that time, most of the young parents understood Hindi, but you have to go step by step. Now we are in a position where the parents, most of the parents are British born, they only understand English. So I think instead of doing a full-fledged dance drama, it's best to take a poem and get them translated in English, put music into it, let them express it.
It's alive. You know, I feel that artists are truly using dance as a medium to express what they feel.
There are two effects here. First, there are many people here who don't get time to read the poems or the stories. They get the stories and through the visual expression, because that is how Tagore was always in search of movements to visually express his poems. So why not we take up that method and take his writings through dramatization, through translation, through miming.
Nrityakala the Rhythm stood outstanding and exceptional because they have first brought a revolutionary development in works on Tagore. It was them who first dramatized Tagore's poem in dance.
O my son, with a divine right indeed, you had one day come to this land. And
Tagore dance dramas were being performed everywhere. What I noticed, it was not reaching a big audience because of the language barrier. Also, it was not being performed by some of the young girls who were being trained in dancing, the British-born dancers. We must adapt to a new form of dancing, like miming, which is not exactly a tremendous coordination of hand movement, the way the Tagore dance, the actual skillful dancers dance. For example, if we say they say go, go, or come, come, no, no. So this is very flowy. They can't do it. I thought we could bring a gesture-like movement on the recitation rather than song. So, go, come, no. Not dance, but if you are a dancer, you can always have a scope to dance. You can put music in the recitation and bring a dance element. But if you are not a dancer, you are getting a chance to take part.
ceaseless warfare is hidden in your plants.
I'm very proud to say that we did a production of a CD, an audio CD, which is in English, Hindi, and Bengali on Tagore's work. We have used this CD for our base for the dramatization of poem. I have also used it in many schools where they have been enthusiastic to do on the dances on the songs. This is probably one of the best ways to do some dramatization and also use it for schoolwork.
Thou hast made me endless, such is thy pleasure. This frail vessel thou emptiest again and again, and fillest it ever with fresh life. This little flute of a reed thou hast carried over hills and dales.